afternoon, everyone. I'm actually going to be reviewing the RX-0 Unicorn Gundam Destory Mode. Full Psycho Frame Prototype Model Suit. As you can see, box, very lovely. It actually comes with, and this is the strange part, an extra hand. Yes, that is an extra hand. That is an extra hand for the right hand side of the model itself. So I don't know why it has two, though. Actually, one hand is actually enough, more than enough for this type of model kit from Bandai. Is 2:30 something in the PM in the afternoon. 2:30 something in the afternoon for me. I started this model at 11, so it's actually given me quite a long time to actually build, like 3 hours and 20 minutes, I should say. The model is a high grade Universal Century, as we can see on the box here. Now I'm just gonna move the model, and the box itself, I actually love the artwork on the box with the eyes. Everything is actually neat, unlike the head sculpt on the model here is actually pretty good. It's kind of like what's on the box. Only problem, this little thing right here, this thing actually comes off because it's only holding this yellow bit in. So any amount of movement, you're likely to actually have that yellow double-edged fin coming straight off. Though this kit should have actually included some glue. And if you're wondering why I'm actually using the Halo 4, actually, I'll show you. Like, that's what I had to use to actually have underneath the model when I was building it. Because as you can see, this guy is white as shit. And I mean white. Not your standard definition of a Gundam, but white. And having a white desktop, yeah, as you can see, white on white doesn't exactly go very well. So I had to use one of my exclusive limited edition linographs of Halo 4, Master Chief. I had to use this just so I could set every single piece of it on it, just to this side while I continue building another piece. So Master Chief actually got used for once for something pretty good. Another thing I have a little problem with as well is this part. As you can see, it is actually moving when it is stationary. So even if I just move the desk, that just moves. Really annoying. Overall, this model is actually a good, decent sized kit. His shield can actually come off the backpack here, which I will demonstrate, and as you can see, very poorly balanced as well. But his backpack actually consists of this lovely pinkish red, which actually comes with the kit itself. So it is actually this pinkish red that is on the box that we actually see in every part, and it's just awesome. Even here, which is you actually had to push in the parts here. These things clearly, they really need to be reworked as well. That's another problem. There's another quality control issue. Are these grey pits? They need to be fixed. I wish I had a turntable as well so I can actually stand this guy on. As you can see here, the knee parts. Also, another quality control issue is this part here that I'm pointing out. One of them actually broke, and I was very, very careful. So one of them actually broke, so I'm a little upset about that. But when you actually put this part on, it actually holds this part in of the broken section. So this guy's only going to be going back in the box. You might have noticed the back legs actually have this. I'm just gonna, as you can see, underneath the legs, we actually have the thrusters themselves. And they are attached to that pinkish red plastic as well. And we also have thrusters underneath the... And every time you actually do something with this model, something just doesn't want to stay. So another issue is these as well. So just be careful. I'm just gonna get in here. These things don't really stay on very well. Especially if you want them hidden or... I'm just having a look to see what's, as you can see, very small. Detail is actually pretty good on the grey plastic as well for the thrusters, as you can see. And sorry about my fingers getting in the way, but this model is actually fiddly at best. So I'm just gonna fix him right here. There. There we go. Now that the back part of him is actually fixed, we can actually see that it is actually open. And I might have to get in here with some nippers or something and actually fix that up. I think this is an ammo pack for the gun. That's what I'm thinking it is, because the gun itself, yep, right here is the ammo pack, so I am indeed correct. But the gun itself, if this phone will, this camera will focus, there we go, is actually pretty good. There's amount of detail I need to actually fill in as well, along with the sights as well, which I'll go in with a marker, because I rather use a marker than have the stickers in that part, because it is actually fiddly to get a sticker into there. Also, these open up as well, and I'll actually show you, as you can see. Kind of like an exhaust section for the arms. I know I need to go through some of these parts and actually sand some rough spots off, but I'm not going to be doing that right now. Overall, this build, even he just wants to lean to the side and such. Also, fun part, which is these parts. These parts here on either side. The instructions say have them on the inside, but then another part of the instructions say have it on the outside. So they're very easy to come off if you actually do mix it up. But follow the other side of the instructions to actually get them like this. Because as we can see on the box art, they are actually on the outside. I picked this lovely model up from Metro Hobbies in the city, as we can see, holding the gun and such. Also, I'd like to point out that yes, this is part of an anime, so that's actually some pretty good detail, considering that the backpack on mine doesn't actually show up enough detail on just in where the gun sits and such, because that slot there actually is to hold the shield and the gun. Just seeing if there's anything else apart from here. Now, you can actually have him in these poses and such. But the problem is, I kind of like to have an LED to actually light him up. So I might have to see about getting the next grade up of him. And yeah, these are in Japanese, so I can't actually understand Japanese. So if anyone actually can you please tell me what these are? Because I actually watched the sub version of Gundam. I do mean I actually watched the sub version of Gundam because I love it. I love the anime. And we'll just have him. Another thing about this model is the shield. That right there, pain to actually get off when you want to actually have him wear the shield. Yeah, I don't have fingernails, so it's gonna hurt. So as we can see, the shield does actually have not enough detail. It doesn't exactly have enough detail, but as you can see, the reddish pink or the pinkish red plastic actually comes up really well in this. I'm just gonna attach his shield to this section here. So marry them like and of course this section just pops off to actually reveal another exhaust port or such. It's just a matter of snapping it back on like so, and as we can see, more detail is actually needed, so I'm just gonna try and get some markers, see if I can just go over some detail that needs to go over, like the lines in here, probably the back as well, along these panels as well. So we've got some detailing needing to do. Just moving there, and I'm just showing some of the wires of my tools of the trade for my diploma I'm actually doing. So this Gundam will actually be made into a complete 3D model, I should say, because I will actually model all the parts and then stick it together and then just go bit by bit in picking out the stuff that is pinkish red, all the way through the whole Gundam, and put a nice neon glow through it. That we can actually have something, or that it can actually look like it's glowing. I forgot to mention the hand that the gun is being held in. Sorry about that. This is the second hand. To actually have the gun in this hand, you would actually have to build the back and this knuckle first, and then put the gun in. The reason why I'm saying put the gun in, because there is a slot on the other side of this gun. I'm not sure if you can actually see it in there, but in there is a peg. Now, the peg on the other side will actually peg into the slot, so the gun is actually being able to hold. Now, this Gundam actually has that. The other Gundams that I have built, they don't have that option. They never have that option. And the detail, if the camera actually focuses, gonna have to use this one. As you can see, the detail is actually the same on this beast. The camera just doesn't want to focus for some reason. So I have to constantly tap it. And I've actually dropped the hand part. Fun and games with small pieces of Gundam. So, as we can see, there is some grip inside here. Knuckles. I wish this was fully articulated, but it's not. Also, it comes in 3 parts, so you got 1, 2, 3, and the ball joint is already there, so there is some posability, as I've actually shown. So I'm actually going to give this one a 8 for aesthetic, or posability actually, because there's not much posability. I can do without a stand. Overall detail, a 9.9. Yeah, 9.9 I'm going to give this. As for build wise, make sure that you actually have no one in the house, because you're going to want to be left alone building this. As for I can't really exactly say well, as for the LED, because in the instructions it actually does say there is a battery of some type. For the love of me, I cannot find where I'm meant to put a small LED anywhere. And I do mean, I cannot find where I'm meant to put one. I'm just constantly... Well, it does actually can move the head. But like I said, you just got to be careful with this yellow thing. And the thing that actually holds it in. So, that's my review of the RX-0 Unicorn Gundam Destory Mode full Psycho Frame prototype suit. Rebel suit, I should say. I just love how it looks. Shame there wasn't any pipe lighting in the back of the head, because it would have made it a lot more better for... He's just fallen over for the eyes here, because quite frankly, the head, it's a lovely head sculpt to actually build. But I kind of would have liked it if the eyes were actually painted on the red or the pinkish reddish plastic and not as stickers. Don't get me wrong, the faceplate's actually alright. I just need to go over a few details. And the camera is not focusing properly. As you can see, there are some details that need to go over on the head itself. Mainly those little slits there around the helmet itself. Also on these things as well. So they're not exactly plain white. Might go over the ammo pack here as well. The inside of the legs there. Now this is actually, I actually like how this is as well, because I forgot to mention the they look like hydraulics here, just in here, which is actually another cool little bit of detail that they've actually gone all out. So overall, product quality for this guy, 4, because there is actually a part here that's actually snapped. So there's a leg part here that snapped. Something snapped off on one of these sections here for the left leg build. A few other pieces can actually break. I mean, this thing itself is one big piece. That pinkish reddish plastic is just one big piece. I don't know why it is just one big piece for, but it can actually break, and that is bad for this build. Because if one of these breaks and you don't have any glue anywhere, you're basically screwed and have to send away for another. Because there's only so much you can do, because you actually have to cut the knobs here, 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 and here to actually remove it. That's another thing I hate. Also, another thing about the gun which I didn't show off is this thing. And I would actually store the gun in the back, but to actually do that, see this part here, you can actually, if it will allow me to lift it, which it's not going to. But this thing actually lifts up, like it's now doing. And that's also one of the hard parts to actually get up. Now, see, like I said, the gun can actually sit loose. That's when those slot and the peg actually come into play. To store the gun on the back, you actually have to take the hand apart just to store the gun in the same spot as this thing is actually in. So that's another problem, because you can't exactly hold anything else apart from this if you actually want to have just in with the shield and this hand in. And that's about it for this review of the RX-0 Unicorn Gundam Destory Mode. Full Psycho Frame prototype mobile suit build. This is actually from Bandai themselves, so may have to get onto them about a few issues I found with this model and see if they can actually go back through and fix those issues and reissue this one, because there is another one that actually has the head as a base. So you're basically getting this head but as a base, and that's it.